Hello everyone, hope so you all are doing good with your classes and with everything. Welcome to another video from Pearson Solution. This time it's of Excel 2022 project Exp22, Excel chapter 2 ML1 Katherine's coffee shop weekly payroll. Payroll, sorry. So this is the name of our project, and what we have to do, we have to read the project description. You have been hired as the new manager for Katherine's coffee shop. As a part of your responsibility, you will be calculating the weekly payrolls. This is what we have to do. The first thing, the manager developed a partial worksheet, but you will enter the formulas. So this is the main theme of our assignment, main summary of our assignment: to calculate the regular pay, overtime pay, gross pay, taxable pay, withholding tax, FICA, and net pay. So these are the all things that we need to calculate using the formulas. So in addition, you want to include the total pay column, calculate some basic statistics, and create an employee lookup section. This is the other thing that we need to do. As you construct the formulas, make sure you use absolute, relative, and mixed cell references correctly. I will tell you what are the absolute, relative, and mixed cell references. So let's start our assignment. It is saying that start Excel, download and open the file name Exp22 Excel chapter 2 weekly payrolls. Payroll. Creator has, this is our main file. Creator has automatically added the student last name to the beginning of the file name. So second step is the first step. We have to start from here. What it is saying, we have to use the if function to calculate the regular pay and overtime pay. These are the two things that we need to calculate in our first step in column E and column F. Based on the regular pay 40 hours worksheet. This is the weekly payroll, and this is column E. Here we have to calculate the regular pay, and then here we have to calculate the overtime pay. So this is the first column that we need to calculate. This is the second column that we need to calculate based on the hours worked and hourly wage. Be sure to use the appropriate absolute or mixed cell references. Yes, we will make sure this thing, otherwise our formula will be wrong. Pay overtime only for the overtime hours. Note, employees receive 1.5 their hourly wage for overtime worked. When we calculate the overall overtime hours worked, then when we calculate the overtime hours worked, then we will keep this thing in consideration, that they receive 1.5 hourly wage extra for the overtime work. Calculate the gross pay in cell G5. This is cell G5. Here we have to calculate the gross pay also, and then overtime pay based on the regular and the overtime pay. Based on these two columns, we have to calculate the gross pay also. So Spencer's regular pay is 140. 440. 440 should be our result in this cell. So this is the indication, or this is like the signal of how we will calculate the regular pay. With 5 overtime hours, Spencer's overtime pay is 82 hours. So first of all, we have to calculate the regular pay, and for this we will use the formulas tab. This is the formulas tab, and you can just remain in the home tab and then just write the formula of if. Press equal sign, write if. When you write if, it will give you the suggestion of several if formula, but we will use the if function here. There we go. If D5, what is in the D5? hours worked is less than, okay, sorry, if less than B24, where is B24? This is B24, base work hours. We have to make this formula absolute. We cannot change this formula. For making this thing absolute, you will press Fn and F4 and it will make the formulas absolute. So it will not change when we scroll down or copy our formula down. Press comma, then write D5 again. Value if false, then it will be again B24. Make this thing absolute reference again. There we go. And we have to multiply this thing with cell C5, hourly wage, and then we will calculate the regular pay. This is how to calculate the regular pay. This is the formula to calculate the regular pay. Just hit enter and it will calculate the regular pay. There we go. It should be 440. Instructor has given us the indication here that Spencer regular pay is 440 USD and we also have 440 USD. Okay, then we have to calculate the overtime pay. For overtime pay we have to again put the if formula, but this time if formula will be a little bit wrong because we have to make some deduction or make some extra calculation, like just press equal and put the if function. D5 is less than, sorry, greater than B24. Greater than B24. Make this formula cell reference absolute. Press comma, then press this bracket, then calculate the D5 minus this one, hours work minus base work hours. Make this formula, make this cell absolute reference again, and then we have to multiply, sorry, close the bracket, and then we have to multiply this thing with cell C5, hours wage, and then we have to again multiply it with B25. What is B25? B25 is the overtime rate that instructor has given us here in the instruction. You can see that employees receive 1.5 their hourly wage for overtime work. Okay, B25 we have to make this cell absolute, also absolute reference, Fn F4. There we go, and then press comma and then write 0 if value is false, and then close the bracket. There we go. Just hit enter and it gives us the value of 82.5. Okay, with 5 overtime hours, Spencer overtime pay is 82.5. With 5 overtime hours, Spencer's overtime pay is 82.5, and we have also calculated the overtime pay for our. So now we have to, what we have to do, we have to copy our functions. We have to copy our formula down this way. Just fill without formatting. When you will fill, sorry, don't fill without formatting, we have to fill. There we go. Again you have to copy this function down also. Sorry, we will copy it in the other step when instructor want us to complete our this. So the next thing we have to do, we have to calculate the gross pay in cell G5 based on the regular and overtime pay. For calculating the gross pay, we just sum these values up, press equal sign, E5 plus F5 and just hit enter. There we go, our gross pay is calculated. So we are done with step number 2 of our assignment, and this point worth for 20 points. Now we will move on to the step number 3 of our assignment, and it is saying calculate a formula in cell H5. Okay, we have to calculate a formula in cell H5 to calculate the taxable pay. Okay, multiply the number of dependents by the deduction per dependent. Number of dependents by the deduction per dependent, and subtract that from gross pay. We have to subtract this value that we'll get by multiplying the number of dependents by deduction per dependents, and we have to deduct this value from gross pay. Okay, this is how to calculate the taxable pay. Just put the equal sign here, and then we have to deduct the value from gross pay G5 minus, open the parenthesis, and then write B5 number of dependents multiply by, where is deduction per dependent, we have to multiply this and then close the parenthesis and just hit enter. There we go. This is how to, you can just remove the parenthesis if you want, and if the parenthesis remain, then this is also right. You can do it in either ways. So this was the, with the 2 dependents, Spencer taxable pay is 422.50. okay, this is the number of dependents, there are 2 dependents, and with this taxable pay is 422.50. so our step number 3 is also right. Now we will move on to the step number 5 of our assignment, step number 4 of our assignment, and it is saying that you have to insert a VLOOKUP function in cell I5. In cell I5, where is cell I5? This is the cell I5, and we have to insert a VLOOKUP function to identify and calculate the federal withholding tax. Okay, we have to calculate the federal withholding tax. With the taxable pay of 422.50, Spencer tax rate is 25% and the withholding tax is 10. So this is our given data, and we have to calculate the federal withholding tax. Federal withholding tax by using the VLOOKUP function. We will return the applicable tax rate, which you must then multiply by the taxable pay. So we have to use one of these table, taxable pay and the tax rate. This is the table that we have to use to calculate the federal withholding tax. So here I have to put the formula of VLOOKUP. In this step I will use the formula type. This is the formula step, and then we have to go to the, we have to look for the lookup function. These are the lookup function, and we have to look for VLOOKUP function. This is the VLOOKUP function. Just open the dialog box, and what we have to, how we have to put that data. First of all, we have to put the lookup value. What value we have to look up? This is the taxable pay H5, and then we have to put the table, and the table is in the range here D24 to E27, E28, sorry, not 27. And the which column in this table we have to look, this is column 1 and this is column 2, so our column number will be 2. Just first of all we have to press OK, and then we have to do another thing here. Another thing is that the lookup, which lookup function will return the applicable tax rate, which you must then multiply by the taxable pay. Okay, and the taxable pay is where taxable pay is in the H5. We have to just put here and then press the asterisk sign, which is the sign of multiplication, and then we have to put the function H5. Just press OK. We have to make this cell absolute reference because we don't want this cell to change when we will copy this formula down. So we are done with this step. What we have to do next, we have to just so we are done with step number 4 of our assignment, and the step number 5 is about you have to calculate the FICA in cell G5. Okay, FICA in cell J5 based on the gross pay and the FICA rate. Okay, based on the gross rate and the FICA rate. Okay, just put here and then just multiply the gross pay with B26 FICA rate. This is the FICA rate. We have to make this cell's absolute reference. So this is this cell is the absolute reference and this is the relative reference. Just hit enter and it will give us a FICA rate. So in this cell we have to calculate the net pay, and how to calculate the net pay, and calculate the net pay in cell K5. For calculating the net pay, just put the equal sign and then we have to subtract the federal tax from the gross pay. G5 minus I5, and we have to also subtract the FICA rate minus, there we go, G5. Just hit enter and copy all the formulas down. There we go. We have to select all the formulas and then we have to just first of all copy these formulas and then select this range, go to the home tab and then paste the formulas and number formatting. Just there we go. So this is how to complete this step. What we have to do next, we have be sure to preserve the existing formatting in the document. Based on the hours Spencer worked, he paid 39 to the FICA and has a weekly net pay of 376.90. So our FICA rate is also right, 39.97, and the net pay is also right, which is 376.90. So we are done with step number 5 of our assignment, and now we will move on to the So I have shown you 5 steps of this assignment. If you want me to solve this assignment or complete this assignment for you, just hit me back on WhatsApp or email. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want me to do this complete course for you, then I am also here. I can do the simulation exams, simulation trainings, weekly tests, monthly tests, final exams of simulation exams of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, assess and assignments of all of these. I can do the other courses like accounting, finance, mathematics, statistics, operation management, English and all writing stuff. We are the team of experts. Just hit me back on WhatsApp and we can make a very good deal. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in another video. Goodbye.